Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking over the anime characters post-2020 who demonstrated their strengths to ludicrous degrees.
単純な話だ。俺に切れねえものはねえ。
Number 10. Muscle is greater than magic. Mashal. Mash is the ultimate musclehead to the extent that his gains are strong enough to even take on wizards and witchcraft. When the arrogant Silva decides to mess with one of his classmates, and worse, his cream puffs, Mash decides to accept his 10-hit challenge. Turns out no amount of iron magic or even the arrival of a giant scorpion can stop Mash from laying out a severe beating, knocking the living daylights out of Silva to such an extent that it only takes 2 helpings to leave him ragdolled. But the real flex comes when Mash decides not to punch Silva out another 8 times because he knows he can't handle them.
もうやめにしようか。なんかかわいそうだし。
Number 9. Walking out of prison. Baki Hanma. The man shadowboxed a giant mantis, knocked out a literal caveman, and choked out the son of Muhammad Ali. Of course, jail would be a cakewalk for Baki.
ごめん。
Deciding to test himself and see if he can actually escape from America's deadliest prison, Baki proceeds to knock out every obstacle in his path between himself and freedom. This includes taking out several guards, dodging bullets, kicking in steel doors, and holding the warden hostage.
してるさ。
Keep in mind, he only did this to prove he could, and after actually making it outside, heads right back like it's no big deal.
ゲームオーバー。受刑者バキハンマー。 帰還します。さあ、手錠を。
Number 8. That time a slime single-handedly killed a whole army. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. They chose the wrong gelatinous isekaya to mess with, and paid the price dearly. Following the slaughter of his self-made town courtesy of a neighboring kingdom, Rimuru decides to spit in the face of death and revive all who were killed. But first, he has to round up some sacrifices to make the transaction. And who better than those who wronged him? Laying siege to Falmouth's army, Rimuru wastes no time in unleashing one of his strongest spells, Megiddo, hurling a bombardment of lasers that soon start to accumulate an absurd body count.
4214.
Number 7. Aura gets farmed. Frieren, beyond Journey's End. Patient and stoic, while occasionally playful, it's easy to forget that Frieren is one of the strongest sorcerers in the world, something that the demon Aura learns the hard way. Having disguised her mana levels for so long, the entrancing elf is able to fool her enemies into thinking that she's on the weaker side of the magical spectrum, at least until Aura makes the fatal mistake of using a spell that weighs the mana levels of both opponents against each other, with the loser becoming bound to the whims of the winner. Yeah, that didn't end up working out too well for her, leading to Frieren casually demanding the demoness take her own life. Ice cold. Number 6. Lower Moon Massacre. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba.
お許しくださいませ。キムツジ様。どうか。
Muzan Kibutsuji is not a man to be trifled with, and one who certainly does not tolerate failure. So, when one of these 6 lower moons is killed by the Demon Slayer Corps, he decides to express his disappointment with his minions by eliminating them. No mercy is given, their pleas fall on deaf ears, and before long, all are reduced to a bloody stain as their master rips them apart. All except for Enmu, of course, who made the wise decision to appeal to Muzan's ego to an absurd degree. The Demon Lord may be a murderous bastard, but the fact he showed up dressed as a courtesan, slaughtered his followers, and then dipped is quite the power play.
お前は私に指図した。死に値する。
Number 5. Throwing Feet. Dragon Ball Daima. What is more humiliating than getting your ass handed to you by a child? How about one that doesn't even use his fists in a fight? Despite being transformed into a youngster, the Prince of Saiyan still finds a way to push through his limits, and for the first time ever, demonstrates Super Saiyan 3. The sheer and sudden power boost turns out to be so radical that despite his diminutive physique, Vegeta is still able to whoop the Tamagami just by using his feet. Yeah, that's pretty on brand for Big V. Number 4. Claiming S rank. Solo leveling.
孫ハンターはどのような力をお使いですか？
こういうのを出せたりします。
Jinoo has made quite the name for himself for stealing every scene as one of modern anime's biggest chads, slicing up and overcoming giant monsters of all shapes and sizes, before adding them to his ever-expanding shadow army. Though, when it comes to showcasing his actual power level, one of the best examples comes during his second ranking. The way he nonchalantly conjures his summons and overwhelms some of the strongest hunters in the country is the best kind of main character energy.
これであなたは名実ともに S 級ハンターです。
He may not want it, but after this little display, there's no going back to being anonymous. Number 3. The Honored One. Jujutsu Kaisen. Everybody knows that Gojo is the GOAT, yet even he isn't immune from losing a fight, which was proven when the likes of Toji annihilated him and left him in a bloody heap, only for him to dust himself off and show up for a rematch.
よう、久しぶり。
Having learned how to heal himself on the verge of death, Gojo rapidly uses his newly perfected curse techniques to style all over Fushigoro's absentee daddy, while being literally high on life.
天上天下、唯我独尊。
And it was on that day that Toji learned to fear the color purple.
挙式、紫。
Number 2. Beyond Imagination. Bleach, Thousand-Year Blood War. There can be little doubt that among all of Soul Society, Kenpachi is him.
言っとくぜ。てめえごときの想像力で俺に切れねえものなんざ作れねえ。俺がケンパチだからだ。
With nothing but a lust for battle and one hell of a sword swing, there's nothing he can't cut through, which is promptly demonstrated when he clashes with the likes of Gremmy. Now sure, the Quincy may be able to manifest his imagination into reality, from guns all the way to a meteor.
隕石だとそいつはまだ切ったことがねえや。嬉しいな。 But
even that proves to be inadequate when put up against Kenpachi's unending love of the fight. It gets to the point where Gremmy tries to imagine himself being strong enough to finally kill the Shinigami captain, only for his body to be unable to bear the weight of it all. How's that for a flex?
俺を化け物にしちまった。
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Divine Departure. One Piece. As one of the 4 emperors, Shanks' status as one of the strongest pirates in the world has never been disputed. But nowhere was it better displayed than when he annihilated Eustace Kid and his fleet single-handedly. High off bringing down the likes of Big Mom, Kid decided to test his luck by trying to blast Shanks into oblivion.
やべえ未来が見えたようだ。
Alas, no matter how big of a railgun he busts out, it's nothing compared to the ferocity of Shanks' Haki.
カムサリ
With a single slash, the redhead emperor divinely departs Kid and company right out of the anime.
降参だ赤髪助けてくれ
Which of these flexes had you reeling? Let us know in those comments below.